Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I wanted to talk about the natal aspects Sun square Neptune and Sun opposite to Neptune. And I will differentiate the two, but the themes are similar. So let's talk about if you have your Sun in a hard aspect to Neptune, or these hard aspects to Neptune. So these people have a real difficult time seeing themselves clearly. And there can be a very deep-seated inferiority complex where they kind of get going towards some goal, and then because of like their inability to see their own greatness and see, their capability as far as this goal goes, they can kind of not have the energy to really go for it, or they can be held back by certain situations in their life, like a romantic partner or a health problem, or in some cases, I really think it's like a form of spiritual attack on like their light, which their light is massive. I really believe that people with the Sun square Neptune or the Sun opposing Neptune, they have like earth angel energy. They have like a very strong light field, which unfortunately is so open to outside energies that they often become confused, or they often feel ungrounded or feel disconnected from their own light and from their own confidence, because the sun sign is all about our confidence that we just naturally exude. It's not something really to be learned, but it's something that when we're fully being ourselves in our I am and our authenticity, we just radiate light and confidence. And it is a lot to do with like our outward purpose of our life. And when we really feel, like we're on track and like we're like our brightest, shiniest self, right? And so when Neptune, the planet of illusion or confusion or deception, and also spirituality and compassion, is making a square or an opposition to our sun, it's actually like at times this confusion or this lack of ability to like ground our light into the physical body is actually inhibiting us or causing like weird fears or complexes and like an inability to deal with life. Now, I don't want this to sound depressing, because I've actually seen even lots of people with the sun trine Neptune be quite confused about themselves, and actually be even more of the ones involved in addictions than even the square. So, and the opposition. So it's almost like the hard aspects can force a realization quicker than the easy aspects of Sun to Neptune. So where the sun square Neptune person or the sun opposing Neptune person, they may have to deal with addictions in other people, but they sometimes seem to figure it out for themselves quite young, that, alcohol or drugs or any form of escapism just simply does not work for them. And it is, if they don't figure that out when they're young, it could literally be life and death, because their sensitivity and their innate like feeling nature, they have a very Piscean energy. Even if this is happening in other signs, they have a very Piscean Neptunian energy, with Neptune contacting the sun like this. And if they do not learn these lessons about addiction, it can really be life and death. And I feel like a lot of them at a young age, it's like they realize this on some soul level that like they can't mess with that. And so they don't, and they actually have more success than even the easier aspects of Sun to Neptune in like avoiding that area. Now, where it can sometimes be a problem is in their people they're associating with. It's very common, women with the sun square Neptune or the sun opposing Neptune, actually both. It's interesting because, usually the opposition is known to be more a relational aspect, but I find with the square too, women with these aspects attract the worst type of men. I said this yesterday in my Mars square Neptune and Mars opposing Neptune video. Same thing. It seems to be these Neptune aspects, either Mars or Sun in hard aspect to Neptune. These women just attract the absolute like worst type of men, in like, yeah, the Neptunian way. So like they could be liars, or they could be addicts, or quite likely they're both. Or in some cases, there will also be a lot of like musicians or artists. That would be like the higher side of Neptune. But you do also want to, be clear and be certain that like you're in a reciprocal relationship, because often with these placements too, there can be an over-giving nature. So you're like attracting someone that you're having to like give your all to, and it's really draining your energy. It's really taking your energy. So you want to make sure you're being poured into in a relationship, and it's not just you doing the giving to the Neptunian person. Now, in some cases, the roles will switch, and the Sun-Neptune person is actually the one kind of draining the other person's energy. So it's like hard for them to have like a balanced energy where it's like both people are giving and taking equally. That's like something to be learned in this lifetime too, is like reciprocal energy. And this can be coming from childhood, in that the father figure, and this is for men and women alike, like the father figure was somehow Neptunian in a way. Like he could have been confusing. Maybe he was actually absent. This is actually quite common in people with absent fathers, who were never there. Or if he was there, he was somehow lacking like a firmness or a groundedness or even a confidence. Maybe he was an alcoholic, or he was an artist that, just couldn't get his shit together or whatever. Like, it's like that kind of theme is like the masculine energy that we're holding. And so for us, it's hard to then really feel grounded in life and really feel stable in life, because our inner masculine is so Neptunian. And until we integrate this into a healthy level, it's hard for us to like fully face life head on. Like there's always this kind of Neptunian personality, like where it's like there can be a refusal, or there can be a great difficulty in just putting yourself out there, like showing your face, and just like they can even feel invisible on some level. Like it's really hard to like be in their light and be in their, confidence, their authority, their shining ability. And so they can like want to have other people around who like they're giving their authority to, and sometimes it's a relationship, or sometimes it's a job. It's like hard for them to really feel the authority of their own being. They're always like trying to grasp it in other people, when they need to really experience and feel it from within. So there is a really natural spirituality, and sometimes the hard aspects force spiritual development even more than the easy aspects. So it's very common to see people with the Sun square or opposing Neptune on a spiritual path. They very naturally just like understand spiritual things, and they have a natural empathy for all, sometimes too much so. Their energy is very delicate and very sensitive, and they can feel quite vulnerable in the world too, and like standing up for themselves. And one of their biggest life lesson is to like actually stand up for themselves, and not just like flitter away in the wind like a paper bag going through the air, right? And just like grounding and like being who they truly are at the sun sign level. You want to like meditate on the sun sign and really focus on activating it and letting yourself be that, and understanding it's okay to be you. It's okay to take up space. It's okay to be seen. And also, you don't have to be anything different than what you are. You don't have to, put on, I think sometimes they can, and in true Neptunian fashion, because Neptune is also the actor or the actress, right? So people with strong Neptune can be really good at being other people, like, and it actually can show up in actors, right? But like in this case, it's like, well, you don't need to act like someone else in order to be successful or to have love or to, get your goals in life. You can actually just be you. And actually, that's like the magic key. That's the golden key. That's the recipe, is just being fully you. Okay. And that can be like the hardest thing to do, to really let ourselves activate our light and be who we are constructively, like not giving up before we attain the goal, giving ourselves that same love and care and grace that we would give anyone else. And, sometimes people with a hard aspect Sun to Neptune will like not start something because they don't want to fail, right? But it's like giving yourself that chance at failing, just by doing it is also important, because, the road to success, like you're going to fail many, many times, and like clearing that fear, letting yourself fail, letting yourself be seen in your failures, like you can just get back up and go again. And that can be like a pretty strong, like debilitating fear for people with the Sun in a hard aspect to Neptune. So you could actually see like different manifestations of this with the Neptune and Capricorn generation, especially. You can definitely see like a career focused person who's like the CEO type as like a reaction to this hard aspect, because they can feel ungrounded. So like that can be a form of seeking like their stability in life from the career. And then, sometimes we can have things happen with these aspects where it forces us to like let go of everything we've worked on. Like it can be in some cases like a fall from grace, or like an actual failures, because we're clinging too tight onto like these things as our light when they were never our light. These are just things we have, or things that we've attained or achieved, but our true soul light is, impenetrable. We cannot ever really lose that, even if we lose our job, or we lose our position, or we lose our relationship. The true light of the soul can never fully be lost. So you might as well just go for it. Because one of the gifts of these hard aspects is that the higher side of Neptune is bringing dreams into reality. Neptune in contact with the Sun, that open energy field, this can actually show success in a spiritual path, success as a healer, success in the healing, helping artistic professions in a way that is, you see the world, you see things in a way that other people don't. You're like an alien. And I think I said this about Sun conjunct Neptune too, where it's almost like you're not from here. Like, I don't know if you believe in like star seeds or light workers or whatever, but I feel like people with these aspects could definitely identify with that and feel like, they just don't really belong on Earth. And what I would say to that is like, it's because you're here to create the new Earth. And that's why you don't really identify with things of the world. You don't really feel like you fit in anywhere. You haven't really found your place, because you're one of life's mystics. You're one of life's artists and healers. And the world that you're here to create, it doesn't exist yet, or it's maybe starting to exist. But it's up to you to fully own and activate your light. And it can be the hardest thing because of these traumas, because of these childhood wounds, because of this inner masculine weakness that you've had and that you've always had in your life. And you have to really clear it out energetically, like clear out the weak, ineffective, incapable masculine, like purge it out of your field. These like the dark energy masculine, clearing that out of your field. And like what I'm talking about now, I mean, obviously you might have to like break up with a guy if he's like that. But even like internally, we all have an inner masculine and an inner feminine. And so, with these aspects, it's sort of a karmic aspect to do with the masculine energy. And we need to like actually resurrect the divine masculine through our energy field when we have an aspect, all aspects of Sun to Neptune, but especially so all aspects of the Sun to Neptune require some form of masculine energy healing because Neptune is diffusing or confusing one of the main masculine energy points in the chart, the point, the sun, that is the brightest light in the whole chart and represents our confidence and forward moving path in life. So we can have to let go of these negative images of self. So, anywhere where you feel inferior or ineffective or like you're just not capable of the same dreams as anybody else, like there can definitely be a feeling of like looking at other people like, oh, other people have it so easy. And here, like, I struggle with just, achieving my goals or feeling confident or feeling stable, feeling secure in myself, right? And so you have to like clear that out of your energy field and activate like king energy and like the sunny masculine archetypes within your own very being, which is a very energetic thing. And I'm hoping you guys, yeah, you're kind of gonna understand this with your Neptunian energy because it is energy work to really bring in this healing masculine energy. And also it's like developing that core groundedness, like so you don't get swept away into everybody else's problems or even your own problems. You stay grounded, you stay on path, you stay seeing your light in all situations, even if you do fail, even if you do stumble, even if other people react negatively to you, you still stand there in your grounded I am presence and you keep going. You don't give up. You don't let that, failure or perceived failure turn you into addictions or, turn you into someone who dims your light. You stay shining through all of it. And then once you can do that, you've truly activated the magic power of the sun in a hard aspect to Neptune. So the square is going to be the most difficult. The square is always a more frustrating tension. The opposition is also difficult though too, but it can kind of fluctuate where we have like periods of actually a lot of confidence and then periods where it's like we have no idea where to access our confidence. It's like disappeared completely. So the sun opposite Neptune can be more fluctuating in the feelings of confusion about our identity, and the square tends to be pretty like a steady frustrating anxiety feeling about who are we and what we're doing. And a lot of the anxiety is unfounded with these aspects. It's like simple grounding practices, simple like connecting to our inner masculine and that like inner core strength, right? That doesn't come from anything external. That can really help a lot. And the thing about Neptune afflictions is like they're like some of the hardest aspects to have, but they're also the easiest to resolve in a way because it's like simple energy tweaks, simple energy clearings, like simple activations in the energy can really fix or heal anything. And with these aspects, like a simple meditation practice or a yoga practice or a visualization practice, because that's something you're really strong at too with these aspects, can really just like save your life literally, because of like the antidote to Neptune is like to use the higher side of Neptune, which is like the dreaming, the visualizations, the spirituality, the artistic gifts, the musical gifts, like letting yourself go there. Because often with these aspects, it's like we've always wanted to pursue art or music or spirituality, but like maybe our father or maybe some voice in our head was like, you're not good enough. And then that would mean you'd have to shine, right? And so like clearing those voices out and allowing ourselves to fully pursue that path, if that's what we truly desire and what is really our soul gifts, like that is also part of the purpose of having these hard aspects, I feel like, is to like go there anyways, even when you're shaking, even when you're in fear, even when everybody says it's a bad idea. Pursue your passions anyways and just keep going. And yeah, that is this was a deep one. I'm hoping that all made some sense to you guys. And I'm sending you all the love. I truly believe people with the sun and a hard aspect to Neptune are like some of life's spiritual masters. And I look up to you for that. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. I'd love to know your experiences of these aspects. If you have either one in your natal chart, I'd love to hear about how it's been for you. Sending you all the love. Thank you for watching. Keep your requests coming, and we'll talk soon. Bye.